Every day starts the same. The words are polite. The smiles are correct.
Then it repeats. Nothing changes except the pressure.
Distortion is a film about routine doing what routine does best.
Deadlines move closer. Faces flatten. Meaning drops out.
Eventually, there's no breakdown to watch.
Only the roll and the damage it leaves behind.
This is Distortion.
We're back 25 years, made in 48 hours.
See,
numbers.
But we've turned the year. Now, we've technically not made another film this year.
No, not technically.
Soon we'll be making another film. So does this name of this podcast change to 26 years?
No, it's a series. We started in 25 and we're going to keep it going.
We're going to eventually get through all of our films. Unless we decide to do like 7 or 8 films a year.
Right, we have to increase the rate of production, allowing us to then...
Here's a commitment we both need to make. Assuming we still are doing this stupid competition and that it's still a competition that's in existence and that the world hasn't descended into Lord of the Flies, when we both retire,
okay,
we need to pick a year that we aim to do as many 48-hour films as we can do.
I love it. Yes, I will hereby promise that I intend to take this seriously and do that.
And I think we need to just go for it.
Yeah.
And if we can, we'll travel. We'll go to Dubuque.
Sure.
I think we need to do one foreign film. So we should go to...
Sure. Lisbon.
No, I think that the Netherlands. So when we were at the Filmapalooza, the teams from the Netherlands were really cool.
Really cool.
And
nice people, great art.
We will lose phenomenally.
Spectacularly.
But the idea, but we're going to bring a little bit of America to Europe.
We're gonna do a foreign film in.
We're going to do the
it'll be in English.
We're going to do the entire film in Dutch, just to fuck with.
I don't know enough about how to translate Dutch. I'll work on it.
Well,
I got time.
We got a couple years. Years. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about is one of the tropes that we've used, I think going back nearly to the beginning. Ending every one of our films with a hearty, "Go you Cougars."
Go you Cougars. All the way back to Mentor, I think.
Back to Mentor, whether it was in reaction 4, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because it's lost to history. Maybe.
It's gone.
Or maybe not.
I don't know.
So, we both moved to South Orange, New Jersey. The mascot of which the high school is the Cougar. And at the time, and kind of still, I've always been very intrigued by David Mamet. I love the way he writes. I love his dialogue. And I love his film, State and Maine. And in that movie, whenever people would meet on the street in this small town, they would say, "Go you Huskies." And
That's right.
when we were starting to make films in New Jersey,
Yep.
we just threw it in.
Yeah.
And it stuck.
It's stuck, and that very few people have even asked why, which I think is fascinating. Most of our cast never asks why. They just know that it's Ron and Eric, and it's crazy. And the irony was when I left New Jersey and moved to Virginia, to Oakton, Virginia, I had to coordinate things so that I went to a high school there that also had the mascot of Cougars.
Of course.
So go you Cougars.
We would not have been able to make films in the DC competition without it.
Would not be okay. Now that I still have kids in high school, therefore I still have to go by Go You Cougars. It's acceptable. You no longer do, so it doesn't matter.
Well, no. I moved to California. That rule is exempted in California because
I think it's like Hellman's best foods at the Rockies, right? If you go over the Rockies, it becomes a different name.
It's a different name.
Yeah, I get it.
I don't remember what the mascot was in Thousand Oaks. It was some armor-clad creature.
Oh, okay, I like it.
Not a
Iron
Spartan,
Man.
not a... It was Go You fighting...
Go You Iron Man.
Iron people.
I like that. Yeah. So I do think it's important to note that we have translated it into the various languages that we were used. That's, I think, only 2 times. Iri Puma during Esperanto in Bloom, and then, of course, in German, which I don't remember it, in Das Ei und der Linkbar.
Yep. It has been a recurring element that, to your point, I don't know that anybody has ever asked us about. Ever asked me about what does that mean. But that is, to me, that exemplifies our films, that they don't have to make sense to everybody. And for the people who actually ask, what does that mean? They're going to become part of our universe.
And let me just say this about most of our cast. They don't ask why, or they don't ask about what the purpose of this is. And, they will talk about character, they'll talk about this or that, but they never say, why did we go in here or doing that? It's a lot of fun. I love them.
No, and our film tonight is, I think, a good example of it, because this is one of our films that brings back a lot of our regular actors into a film that was not necessarily an easy one to understand from the script. Tonight's film is Distortion. This was made for the 2006 New York Fort Air Film Project. And the genre chosen was silent film.
Yep, we got the silent film. And I remember us sitting there going to Indian food, talking about it. Mm-hmm. Yep, and I remember we were talking through it, and I had this concept for a film where, like, everyone would walk around carrying a mask, a paper plate type of mask, and one side was like happy and the other side was sad, and everybody had them. And then there was this breakthrough where somebody lowered their mask or something, and that was the concept that drove us through our creative process to what became Distortion, which is different, with some similar concepts of masks.
You will definitely see as we get into it that idea, I think, translated through with a slightly different twist.
Yeah, because my initial idea was more like Sin City, high graphic, black and white, high contrast, with the faces being white, very bright paper, white, round, and
now
maybe some other day we'll do one like that.
Now, I will say this is one of our artsy films. This was still squarely in the era when we tried really hard with our films. And it has a very unique look. It has a very unique approach to the genre and the the overall delivery of the story.
Yep.
And so it's that idea of our process was well honed by then, and it's always interesting how ideas that come in get transformed into.
Is that that's the hand movements of transformation?
I'm water bending.
Oh, very nice, Angli.
Get transformed into what ultimately ends up on the final.
Yeah, this one was fun. I remember, like, we threw in some characters just for fun, like the three harpies, which we'll get to later, and then the main family. I liked it. It was similar to our process of something happens, we change it, we repeat something, right? And that allows for progression, and I like that. It worked.
And so,
at least in this case,
made for the 2006 New York. And so, made for the 2006 New York 48-hour film project. This is Distortion. This is our silent film.
Mm-hmm.
The animated text was used to tell the story, to take the place of the dialogue.
That's right.
This is, as I mentioned earlier, a film with a lot of our regular actors.
Yeah. Yep. Jeff, Allison, Shona, and then even Randy's in there, who's in one other film, who's your niece.
And I've got to say, in looking at this, the one thing that sticks out to me that I don't like is that we didn't balance the ponytails.
Oh, I like it.
They both
like
have the
how it's
ponytails
different.
going the same way. They should be.
Oh, I see. You want it to be the opposite direction. Oh, okay. Well, I'm good with it. And I love the way we utilized the text. Well, I'll let it play in its own artistic manner.
Much like our earlier film that we've watched, Bloom. This is another universe where doing weird, meaningless tasks are a job. In this case, it was sorting keys.
That's right, sorting keys.
Which, of course, was the prop.
Right. And then the three ladies commenting on him in a negative way. That was purely some sort of harpy.
That's our Greek,
angry.
That's our Greek
chorus. That's right. Oh, I love this movie. I've forgotten how much, like Allison, the way she just started to change, and you knew everything was going to turn from that point on. Oh, so good. And then, of course, the soundtrack. We need to talk about the soundtrack. David Libby, fantastic composer in New York City. He did a couple of films with us. and this one was particularly good. This discordant and seemingly without direction type of piano. And then Ron, maybe you'll tell them about the trick you used on this one.
The trick I used on this one was a tricky trick.
Ooh,
That was quite tricky. That I have no idea what you're talking about.
So when we listened to the recording of the piano, it wasn't quite full enough. So, Ron, we overlaid at different intervals of the piano. So you're not hearing just one recording. You're hearing both of them, but you don't know it.
That was such a trick, even I forgot about it. But the soundtrack, so David Libby, I think, worked on 2 or 3 of our films.
Yep,
very
2 or 3.
talented composer.
Great.
Just really and easy to work with. And it was our first and only time working with an outside composer. And this film was awarded for that. This film definitely won Best Score. I believe it may have won 1 or 2 other awards as well. But the score really pulls it together.
Yeah, it starts to give you that feeling of sadness already, right? And things falling apart. And I love that.
So this is one of the visual effects that kind of tells this story. And this is, I am sure, the evolution of the idea of the mask.
That's right. The change in the mask. Yeah, and then the change in the text starts to make you feel different, right? It's all there. And then as the music builds, it all works.
This
The
is
saga of the American male disconnecting himself from his family because he's fighting everything. It's just sad.
It's another of the film that makes very good use of our step and repeat approach to storytelling.
Yep. Yep. Also filmed at the Dewar Center, the Village Light Opera Guild's rehearsal space. Made good use of that too.
Big white walls.
White walls. We had a sheet up, I thought, right? And then we used the stuff. I don't remember.
I don't know. It was definitely a easy film for lighting and setup because it was essentially one scene. Move in the desk, move in the couch, move in the breakfast table.
Bring the pancakes from McDonald's. They should totally sponsor us.
McDonald's produces the most photogenic pancakes in the world.
Consistent. So consistent.
I feel bad for the actors over the years that have had to consume large quantities of them.
Yeah, I remember that when Todd Hughes, for the Pancake film, he was doing a regimen of training he learned from the previous winners of the hot dog eating contest. He had to train a lot to be able to consume that many pancakes.
That's what Johnny Depp told me.
The Johnny Depp film. We haven't gotten there yet.
High art.
Wow.
High
Wow.
art.
I mean, I got chills, and I mean, literally, they really had a nice arc.
This again. It was. We always forget we've made some pretty good serious films that aren't made for a laugh. The thing I always remember about this film is at the time we made this film, I was working for CBRE, a large commercial real estate firm, and I got a call one day after we released this film from one of the senior executives at the firm, a guy that I knew and had worked with pretty closely. And I can't recall how he ever saw the film, but he called me up and asked whether or not he could use this film in a college class that he was teaching.
Do you remember what kind of class? Do you remember?
I have no idea. And,
Yeah, okay.
and I don't, and I remember having I'm falling over. I remember having very in-depth conversations with him about the meaning of the film, and
nice.
He loved it, and it's like, and he used it for years. And I would run into him, at company events years later, and he would say, "Yeah, I'm still using that. It's so great," and blah, blah, blah. And it was like, wow.
Nice.
So there are a bunch of people in Texas who, in their college course, saw Cup of Meat film and learned a life lesson from it.
Yeah, and if do you remember that we talked long and hard about how this movie was going to end, and my original desire, and we decided it was too dark, was for the ending to have his family killed on the floor, and each of their faces came back from the distorted face to the regular as he realized what he had done.
That's
and
dark.
We chose. Thanks. That's why we chose not to do it. It was a very dark ending.
But there must have been a production reason I wouldn't have gone for that, because if you want to go dark, I'll go there.
No, at the time we just discussed it and decided not to. That's where I went originally with the original story, and we didn't go there.
It's the evolution of Cup of Meat, because today, if you go dark, damn,
you shut off all the lights.
I'm gonna one up it. It's like they'd be lying on the ground with blood spurting out of their eyes.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna do two babies. Yeah, I remember that. It was a discussion.
So, dear viewers, we find ourselves once again at the end of at worst, mediocre episode of Made in 48.
Yeah, at worst mediocre, probably at best mediocre too, which is
No, at best, watchable.
oh well, the film itself was fantastic, so
See,
I enjoyed that.
The film always raises the level of the
Oh, yeah.
podcast. And,
Yeah, our art
and
is
then
better
we get
than
to-
us.
And we get to the end, and it's just us, and we have nothing interesting to say.
Well, you know what they say about when you have nothing to say.
Speak randomly about things that don't make sense.
Oh, I thought it was just don't say anything.
No. See, in our world, we talk about random nonsense. That's how we built our entire library of films, is talking about nonsense and putting a camera in front of us.
So
I
true.
don't see why this podcast would be any different.
Pure nonsense.
The ending of these is encouraging people to watch more episodes. And so we could talk randomly about watching things. You could be watching your watch. You could be watching the traffic. You could be
Or
watching
you
the
could
weather.
be the watcher who watches the watch.
You could be. You also want to like and subscribe. There's
Yeah,
many things
ring that
people
bell.
Like. You want
And
to ring bells.
put a comment in the doodly doos.
You could be Quasimodo ringing a bell in the spires of Notre Dame.
Or you could be fully moto, ringing a bell just because you want to.